Right now it feels like this moment is passing, the future is approaching, and the past is disappearing behind you. But what if none of that is actually happening? It sounds impossible, and yet a series of undeniable experiments forced physicists to confront a disturbing possibility: that the flow of time may not exist at all. In 1971, scientists Joseph Hafele and Richard Keating loaded 4 atomic clocks onto commercial airplanes. Their plan was simple: fly the clocks around the world, then compare them to identical clocks that had stayed on the ground. Now, the assumption that everyone shared was that the clocks would match perfectly, because time is time. It moves at the same rate for everything, everywhere. That's what we'd always believed. But when Hafele and Keating landed and compared the readings, they didn't match. The clocks that had traveled showed less time had passed. Not by much, only fraction of a microsecond, but the difference was real, measurable, and repeatable. Almost as if time isn't something the universe runs on, but something the universe generates locally, differently for each observer. Which raises a disturbing question. If time changes depending on where you are, then what exactly is it? And that's when physicists began asking an even more disturbing question. If time isn't universal, then maybe the past isn't fixed either. And one experiment appeared to suggest exactly that. In the 1970s, a physicist named John Wheeler proposed one of the strangest experiments in the history of science. He called it the delayed choice experiment, and what it appeared to suggest was that the past may not be as fixed as we think. The experiment was simple. Scientists fired a single photon, a particle of light, toward a barrier with 2 narrow slits cut into it. Now, when no one was checking which slit the photon passed through, something strange began to happen. Instead of choosing one path, the photon spread out and started behaving like a wave. It passed through both of the slits at the same time and left a rippling interference pattern on the detector screen behind. But when scientists ran the experiment again, this time placing a measuring device in front of the slits to check which slit photon would use this time, something even more disturbing happened. The interference pattern disappeared. The photon behaved like a particle instead, as if the act of looking had forced it to make up its mind. Now, that was already strange enough, but Wheeler noticed something even stranger. He asked, what if we placed the measuring device behind the slits and wait until the photon has already passed through before deciding whether to activate it or not? Now, in that case, the photon would have already gone through the slits. Its decision would already be made. Its past should already be fixed. So whatever photon did at slits should already be decided and final. But what happened next challenged one of our deepest assumptions about reality. When the scientists decided to observe the photon after it passed through the slits, it behaved as though it had been a particle all along. But when they chose not to observe it, it behaved as though it had always been a wave. As if the photon had not fully committed to its past until the future measurement was made. as if the future still played a role in shaping the past. But if a future measurement can influence how we see the past, then perhaps the boundary between past and future isn't as solid as it appears. Perhaps they are connected in ways our everyday experience hides from us. Perhaps the reason the experiment seems so strange is because we've been thinking about time the wrong way all along. A possibility that led Albert Einstein to one of the most unsettling conclusions of his life. Albert Einstein spent much of his life trying to understand the nature of time, and in the final years of his life, he arrived at a conclusion so strange that physicists are still debating it today. Following the death of his closest friend, Mikhail Besso, Einstein wrote a letter to his family. In it, he said something that physicists still quote today. The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Now, Einstein wasn't speaking poetically. He was describing a conclusion that flowed directly from his own equations. In the framework of general relativity, time is not a separate thing that flows. Instead, it's a fourth dimension, part of the same fabric as space itself, and in that structure, all moments exist simultaneously. The past is not gone. The future is not unwritten. Every event that has ever happened and every event that will ever happen exists as a fixed coordinate in the four-dimensional fabric of space-time. This model is known as the block universe theory. It is the interpretation of time that most directly flows from Einstein's equations. The same equations that have been verified to extraordinary precision over a century. In the block universe, there is no flow, no movement from past to future, no present moment sweeping forward like a wave, only a static, complete four-dimensional structure in which every moment of your life, your birth, your childhood, this exact second, all exist at once. The implication is difficult to wrap your mind around, but imagine looking at a map. London exists, Paris exists, Berlin exists. None of those cities are being created as you travel between them. They already are there. According to the block universe, moments in time may work the same way. Yesterday exists, tomorrow exists, this moment exists. We simply experience them, one at a time. Every story in this video points toward the same unsettling possibility. The clocks that traveled around the world experienced different amounts of time. The delayed choice experiment suggested that past and future may be more connected than they appear, and Einstein's own equations describe a universe in which every moment already exists, not one after another, but together. Which means the flow of time we experience every day may not be a feature of reality at all. It may be a feature of us. The feeling that future is approaching, the feeling that the past is gone, the feeling that this moment is somehow special. All of it may be part of the way consciousness experiences reality that is already complete. Almost as if what we call living through time is not movement at all, but the experience of reading something that was already written, page by page, line by line, believing we are writing it when the book may have been finished long before we opened it. Thank you for exploring this mystery with me. My name's Jacob, and if you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing. Now, it takes a long time to research and create each video, so if you'd like to support the channel and help make more videos like this, you'll find the link to Patreon in the description. But for now, that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you in my next one. Take care.